One of the oldest internet marketing benchmarks that exists out there is when you have an email list, every single month you should be able to extract $1 from each subscriber on your email list. Now, while this benchmark is specifically looking at everything from the lens of sales, today I wanted to talk a little bit about how you can actually accomplish this goal by leveraging your YouTube channel without requiring any sales. So I was in the process of creating a presentation, a longer presentation for a client that I'm going to be talking with in the next couple of weeks. And I figured since I put this section together, that I would go ahead and share that section with you to kind of talk through how you can actually use YouTube to not only grow the revenue of your channel, but also use it as a catalyst to helping grow the channel as well. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, I'm gonna do this here. Let's go ahead and do this in slideshow mode. Okay, cool. So today, like I said, we're talking about leveraging your email to grow your channel and your revenue. And I want to kind of first set the stage. So YouTube content creation, content marketing, using your socials is kind of like the highest level of your marketing funnel. And by that, you're going to get the largest amount of reach. The downside to this, this way of generating traffic and that kind of thing is you're kind of at the mercy of the algorithms that are out there. Now, some people try to use these specific platforms, whether it be YouTube, your social, Instagram, Facebook, or blogs with content marketing. A lot of people try to use this as a sales avenue. However, in our experience, using these particular platform as a sales outlet is generally not a great idea. Conversions are going to be pretty extremely low, like in the 0.1%. And generally speaking, these types of pieces of content generally don't get as wide of a distribution as more like value-based content. And as a function of that, the end goal should be from any piece of content, whether that be a YouTube video or a blog post or anything, should be, how do I get that person who's looking at my thing onto my email list so that I can start to build a relationship with a person, build my brand, kind of have that, start the process of building that relationship, and then ultimately lead into whether that be a soft pitch for a product or a program or a service or whatever. So basically, as you go from the top of the funnel here, you've got your largest reach, you're kind of at the mercy of the algorithms, and then generally it's a bad sales channel. The email marketing side of thing is now an own source of traffic, which is a great opportunity to build a long-term relationship with your viewer. And then this is generally like the next step as far as getting somebody from a subscriber to a buyer. And then once somebody has bought something, that is where you ultimately can create the deepest relationship of helping people get the result that you're trying to help them get. And then at that point, I said generally a good sales channel. Generally, after somebody is a buyer, they are also going to be, the idea is as you build the relationship and get people results, they'll be interested in buying other things from you down the line. So you're probably asking, like, what does this look like? So the first thing that you have to do is like, how do you capture somebody? Well, normally, depending on the length of your video, we recommend having kind of like one of two buckets. You either have a video that's kind of in the 10 to 30 minute range, which is like ideal for YouTube, or you're on the longer side and you're a 30-minute plus. So maybe like a longer training or a mashup or any of those type of things. Basically, you've got two buckets that you typically fall in. Now, what we want to do is we want to insert a call to action within, so for a 10 to 30 minute, usually within 20% to 45% of your timeline, you specifically want to call out like, hey, if you're interested in getting my YouTube course, check out the link in the top of the description. When you click on that, you can create an account, get access to the course, that kind of thing. That would be the example of an ad. I am currently in the process of refreshing the course that is down there. If you want to check it out, but for right now, it's a couple years old, and I figure I'll just throw it out there just if people are interested. That gets thrown in 20 to 45% of your timeline if it's a 10 to 30 minute video, or if it's a 30-minute plus video, you're going to have some type of ad read, usually within the 5 to 10 minute mark. You're trying to maximize the number of people who see the ad read, or, who see the call to action to get on the list, and then you're simply just moving on with the content. Once you've actually captured the email, obviously, like typically the delivery process is like they show up to a landing page, they're putting in their information, whether that be their name and email address. The first email is typically a position to, here's the thing that I promised you. So in my case, it would just be the YouTube course. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think the link in the description actually has any of this set up. It was kind of developed a while ago. But basically, you'd normally have the lead magnet delivery, where you're specifically giving them the thing that you promised, and then you're just positioning like, hey, over the next week, 2 weeks, however long you want to create this, nurture sequences can be as long as you want them to, but you're specifically positioning like, hey, I'd love to continue this conversation and kind of give you additional value over a period of time. And the what most people neglect to do is realize that you're already creating content on YouTube that have a ton of value. So why not, rather than just type out an email that's like a long, lengthy email that nobody really wants to read anyways, why not just position a video that's on your channel already and drive traffic to those videos? Now, what's really interesting about this is this does a couple different things. One, you now are sending traffic to a specific video, and YouTube is going to say, hey, this person is sending traffic to us. We should maybe give these videos more impressions. People are actually showing up. They're paying attention. They're watching a little bit more. And generally speaking, when you send somebody from an email to that video, people are going to tend to watch longer. So you're building out your watch time. You're growing the exposure of your channel by getting more impressions. And ultimately, this little process that now creates an opportunity where, as you grow and expand your email list, you're growing and expanding the number of views that you're getting on your pieces of content, and thusly you're going to naturally get more subscribers, more people who are interested in your stuff, and so on. So typically speaking, then toward the end of the nurture sequence, you would normally have some type of either pitch for a course or a service or whatever it is that you do. Normally, that's what you would do. In my case, right now, I'm really not trying to sell anything. So there's, like I said, there is no nurture sequence. There is nothing to sell. But this is usually the last couple of emails is where you start to position like, this is the next step in our relationship that you can go. So this is a really cool automated process to help grow the channel and grow what you're doing. Now, you're probably asking like, okay, cool. So from this, how am I actually extracting value? Well, what's really interesting is by sending people to YouTube, you now create an interesting dichotomy where the YouTube channel, because, once you hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours worth of watch time, you now have the opportunity to actually extract value from the sending of emails, which is a really interesting case. So if you have an email list of 5, 10, 15,000 people, and you can drive, let's say, even if it's just 1,000 views from your email list to your YouTube channel, whatever your CPM is roughly the amount of money that you're going to be able to make by sending those emails, which is kind of cool. A lot of people who come to me who are a little bit on the bigger side, I've had people with a couple 100,000 emails. I've had people with a couple million emails. And what's really interesting is they don't realize that this type of opportunity exists where at the push of a button, they can essentially generate revenue. And that right there is like mind-blowing to them. I had one particular client, he had 200,000 subscribers, pretty small channel, 20,000 subscriber channel. As a function of implementing a 3 email a week cadence to his monthly what he normally would send. Basically, he was publishing 3 videos a week, and every time he would publish a video, he would send out an email. And in the next couple slides, we're actually going to show how you can supercharge that. But he sent 1 email whenever he released a video, and as a function of sending that email, he was able to take his $2K a month channel to $5 to $6K a month just as a function of sending emails. He did nothing different on the channel, and guess what? Some people who are on your email list aren't necessarily subscribed, And as a function of that, people would naturally subscribe, and you could essentially drive subscribership through the email list, which is kind of cool. So how do we supercharge this, and how do we get the most out of this process? Well, one thing that you can do is you can start to control the experience. And the way that you do that, if you actually go to your own channel page, by default, you should have a category that just says videos, which is basically every single public video that is on your channel. Next to the word videos, there's a play all button, as is seen in the screenshot. What this does is this opens up your entire uploads playlist as a playlist. And from that, you can actually extract a piece of code from the URL. Now, for me, when I click on this button, this is the URL that populates. And the thing that I want to pay attention to is this and list equals, and then a bunch of numbers and letters all in conglomeration. Now, whenever you send out an email, you want to make sure that this piece of code is to the back end of the URL. So let's say if this is the video that I was going to send out, I would make sure that I would have youtube.com/watch, and then all this, the video ID, and then this and list equals, and then all these letters and characters. What does this do? Well, I actually didn't take a screenshot. So let me go out of here real quick, and let me go over to the YouTube channel real quick, and I'll show you what that exactly does. So if we go over to the YouTube channel, I'm going to click on, I want to go to my channel and click on this button. What this does is this opens up the video within my videos playlist. Now, you're probably asking yourself the question, okay, cool. So how does this work? Well, when you open up a video within a playlist, what's interesting now, if you're doing best practices, usually at the end card, you're positioning like, hey, check out this video over here. Like that should still be a part of your process. But what this does is if somebody forgets to click on the button or just ignores it altogether, maybe they're just listening to it passively, when it gets to the end of the video, what happens is, let's go ahead and take this. I'll take this the last 2 seconds. I'll hit the play button. It naturally rolls into the next video that is on that playlist. So as you're continually publishing, you're basically getting exposure to more than just the video that you're sending people. Now, what's interesting though is this strategy doesn't only have to be used on videos that are on your channel. So let's say you did an interview. I did an interview about a year ago. I believe I believe it's on the channel. Let's go over. I'm going to hit pause. So if I scroll down, I drew in the wild. Here's an interview that I did with Greg Johnson. So let's say I wanted to share this video with, let's say I wanted to share this video with my audience on my email list. Well, what I could do is I could basically take this URL, get rid of all this garbage. So we've just got youtube.com/watch and then a bunch of stuff. And then if I add that and list piece, what it does is it will open up the video that I wanted to share to begin with, nested inside of my playlist. So even whether or not I'm sharing my own content or content where I've been featured in, I can still send that out to my email list, knowing that I can control the experience and get people back onto my channel watching my content if for whatever reason they were to finish the video and want to do that. Let's go ahead and give Greg a thumbs up. Cool. So that's a really powerful thing. Now, what does this look like from a results standpoint? Well, so this is typically what it looks like. So when you send out an email, this is a video from a client, usually a couple hours after the video goes live, or a couple of days. I can't remember which time scale this is. Usually an email will go out. You get this big spike of viewership because you're now sending traffic into the channel, generating more watch time, generating new subscribers as a function of it. And what ultimately happens is there will be whatever the next video is will now have a very similar bump to it. All of a sudden, you'll get, usually it's somewhere between 10 and 20% of viewers who watch the main video will get to the second video. So it really is just a matter of how am I positioning the video. And these emails don't need to be complicated. Like, it literally is, you're just positioning the video that you want to send them to, you're giving them the link to go to the video, and then the video does the work. And if you can control the email list and control the experience, it now creates a really interesting way for you to not only drive traffic to your channel and help boost the number of impressions that you're getting across the channel, but it really helps from a growth perspective, because now you're in control of how much views you're getting on a video, and it really it just changes a lot of the way that YouTube interacts with your own channel. And like I said, I've got clients who use this strategy to specifically send video traffic to videos that they just publish. And generally speaking, from a revenue perspective, you're generating 20 to 30% more revenue on your videos just as a function of sending those emails. So it's a lot different of a process than most people tend to follow on YouTube. I mean, most people don't start building their email list until they're already at, 10, 20, 30,000 subscribers. And the thing is if you start this process early enough, it scales over time. So while, yes, in the early stages, there's going to be some costs associated with, setting up the email list, getting the landing page, all that stuff, but you will have outsized returns later down the road if you foster and start to build out that email list in a way that will continue to drive traffic to your channel and grow your channel. So I believe that is it as far as slides that I had. So I hope you got a ton of value from this. Let me know down in the comment section below if you found this helpful. I'm probably going to be doing more of these type of videos where I'm like walking through a process specifically on the YouTube side of thing on a more regular basis on the channel, just because that is kind of my shtick. So if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. And if you are in the process of starting your own channel, I highly recommend you check out this video right here, where I talk about the 4 questions that you should answer before starting your channel. So click on this video right here, and I will see you over there.